What happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object in the theater of the wild? What ancient unwritten laws govern the moment a king of the skies challenges a master of the earth? We often think of nature's conflicts as simple struggles for survival, a straightforward affair of predator and prey. But hidden within these encounters is a deeper, more complex drama, a chess match of instinct, intelligence, and raw power. This is not merely a fight, it is a negotiation of dominance, a violent conversation written in the language of claw and beak. The outcome is never certain, for nature does not favor reputation alone, it only respects results. Imagine a stage set by evolution itself. On one side, the golden eagle, a symbol of absolute aerial supremacy, a creature whose very existence is a testament to the power of flight and fury. On the other, the secretary bird, a terrestrial hunter of unparalleled skill, a dinosaur in avian form that has perfected the art of ground warfare. When their worlds collide, which set of evolutionary tools will prove superior? Is it the crushing grip from above, a force delivered with the precision of a thunderbolt? Or is it the lightning-fast, bone-shattering kick from below, a defense forged in the endless war against the world's most venomous serpents? This is the question that whispers through the high crags and across the sweeping savannas. Our story unfolds at the volatile intersection of two distinct biomes, a theoretical frontier where the rugged alpine territory of the eagle bleeds into the sun-scorched grasslands of the secretary bird. Here, in this ecological crossroads, the rules are fluid and the hierarchies are challenged. The golden eagle, driven by the primal need to secure territory and sustenance for its young, may be forced to venture beyond its typical hunting grounds. The secretary bird, patrolling its domain with an unwavering gaze, perceives any large, descending shadow as a potential threat. It is a confrontation dictated not by malice, but by the inexorable pressures of ecology and the deep genetic coding for survival. The air grows heavy with anticipation. It is a silence pregnant with violence, a moment stretched thin between two heartbeats. We are about to witness more than a simple animal conflict. We are peering into the very engine room of evolution, observing the brutal, yet elegant process of natural selection in its most dramatic form. This is a clash of philosophies, a battle between two masterpieces of predatory design. One has mastered the vertical world of wind and altitude, the other, the horizontal plane of earth and grass. The curtain rises on a showdown that will test the limits of adaptation, courage, and the secret laws that govern life and death in the wild. To understand the golden eagle, one must first understand the sky. It is not an empty space but a dynamic three-dimensional battlefield that the eagle commands with absolute authority. Its entire being is a marvel of aeronautical engineering. With a wingspan stretching over 2 meters, Aquila Chrysidos is not merely a flyer, it is a master of fluid dynamics. Each primary feather is a sophisticated airfoil, individually adjustable to manipulate lift, drag, and thrust with breathtaking precision. This allows the eagle to soar effortlessly on thermal updrafts for hours, conserving precious energy while scanning the world below from an altitude that renders it almost invisible to its prey. The eagle's offensive capabilities begin with its vision, an asset so profound it borders on the supernatural. Its eyes are immense, occupying a significant portion of its skull, and packed with a density of photoreceptor cells far exceeding our own. This grants it a visual acuity estimated to be up to 8 times sharper than that of a human. From a kilometer high in the sky, it can spot the subtle twitch of a rabbit's ear. This is not just seeing, it is a form of remote analysis. The eagle processes this information with a brain hardwired for predatory calculation, judging distance, speed, and trajectory in an instant before committing to its devastating attack. When the eagle decides to strike, it initiates a stoop, a controlled, high-speed dive that is a terrifying spectacle of physics in motion. Tucking its wings, it transforms into a feathered missile, capable of reaching speeds of over 240 kilometers per hour. The biomechanics of this dive are extraordinary, a perfect balance between gravitational acceleration and aerodynamic control. As it nears its target, the final phase of the attack is engaged. Its legs, powered by incredibly dense muscle and tendon systems, swing forward to deploy its primary weapons, the talons. These are not merely claws, they are curved daggers of keratin, designed for maximum penetration and gripping force. The true power of the golden eagle lies in the final crushing impact. The force exerted by its talons is immense, estimated to be over 15 times more powerful than a human hand, capable of exerting hundreds of pounds per square inch. This crushing pressure is a key component of its killing technique, sufficient to puncture the skulls of animals as large as foxes or young deer. The rear talon, the hallux, is particularly formidable, acting as a primary puncturing tool that can sever spinal cords or collapse vital organs in a single, decisive grasp. This is not just a predator, it is an aerial executioner, a perfect synthesis of sight, speed, and overwhelming force. Leaving the mountainous realm of the eagle, we descend to the vast, open savannas of Africa, the domain of Sagittarius serpentarius, the secretary bird. This is a creature that seems to defy conventional avian design. It is a bird that has chosen to conquer the land. Standing over a meter tall, it strides through the grasslands with a deliberate, almost regal gait, covering up to 30 kilometers a day, on foot. Its long, crane-like legs are not simply for walking. They are sophisticated biological weapons, honed by millennia of warfare against the planet's most dangerous reptiles. This is a hunter that meets its prey on its own terms, face to face on the unforgiving ground. The secretary bird's primary advantage is its unique hunting strategy, a terrestrial blitzkrieg that relies on speed, precision, and overwhelming force. Its long legs, while appearing slender, are bundles of powerful muscle and resilient bone. The key to its attack is the lightning-fast stomping motion. Biomechanical studies have revealed that a secretary bird's kick can be delivered in just 15 milliseconds, a speed so fast the human eye can barely register it. This incredible velocity generates a staggering impact force, capable of delivering up to 5 times the bird's own body weight in a single, focused blow. This is enough to shatter the spine of a cobra or crush the skull of a puff adder instantly. To protect itself during these high-stakes encounters, the secretary bird has evolved a suite of remarkable defensive adaptations. Its legs are covered in thick, keratinous scales, forming a natural armor that is highly resistant to snake bites. Furthermore, it uses its large wings not for flight in combat, but as a massive, intimidating shield. By fanning them out, it creates a confusing and distracting target, baiting the snake to strike at the feathers rather than its vulnerable body. This is a calculated use of misdirection, a clever piece of behavioral armor that complements its physical defenses, turning a potential weakness into a strategic tool. Beyond its physical prowess, the secretary bird possesses a form of tactical intelligence. It does not simply wade into battle, it assesses its opponent, often circling a venomous snake, goading it into striking and tiring itself out. It employs a series of quick stomps and retreats, a dance of death that wears down the reptile's stamina and defenses. The bird's long, elegant crest of feathers, which gives it its name, is not merely for display. It often flares during these intense confrontations, a clear signal of its aggressive state. This combination of powerful weaponry, intelligent tactics, and formidable defense makes the secretary bird the undisputed ruler of its terrestrial hunting grounds. The confrontation begins. From its lofty perch in the thermals, the golden eagle has identified the secretary bird moving through the grasslands below. To the eagle's predatory brain, this is a large potential food source or perhaps a territorial competitor in this fringe environment. The decision is made. The eagle transitions from a soaring surveillance platform into a weaponized projectile. It folds its wings back, streamlining its body to minimize air resistance, and begins its legendary stoop. This is not a reckless plunge but a highly controlled, calculated descent, a strategy of shock and awe designed to overwhelm the target before it can mount an effective defense. As the eagle accelerates, the world below rushes up to meet it. The physics of this moment are brutal. Every meter it falls, gravitational potential energy is converted into kinetic energy, building a reservoir of destructive power. The eagle's internal senses, its sophisticated vestibular system, allow it to maintain perfect equilibrium and spatial awareness even as it plummets at dizzying speeds. It is aiming not just for the secretary bird, but for a specific point of impact, the head or the upper spine, a target selected for maximum incapacitation. The eagle's entire evolutionary history is culminating in this singular, focused purpose, to deliver a decisive, killing blow from the sky. However, the savanna offers a different tactical environment than the rocky slopes the eagle is accustomed to. The open terrain provides no cover for a surprise attack. The secretary bird, with its head held high and its keen senses attuned to the dangers of the grassland, is not an easy target. It is constantly scanning, not just the ground but the sky as well. The shadow of the descending eagle, growing larger and faster, is an unambiguous signal of imminent danger. The eagle's primary advantage, the element of surprise, is compromised. The battle will not be won before it begins. It will have to be fought. The final seconds of the dive are a maelstrom of sensory input and rapid-fire calculation. The eagle adjusts its trajectory with minute movements of its tail and wingtips, compensating for the secretary bird's movements. The piercing shriek that often accompanies its dive is not a cry of rage, but a potential tool of psychological warfare, intended to startle and disorient its target. The talons are now fully extended, locked into position like the landing gear of a fighter jet, ready to absorb the immense forces of impact, and transfer them directly into the body of its opponent. The first move in this lethal chess game is about to be made. The secretary bird does not panic. Its genetic lineage is steeped in confrontations with sudden, fast-moving threats. As the eagle's shadow envelops it, an ancient, hard-wired defense protocol is initiated. Instead of attempting to flee, a futile gesture against an adversary of such speed, the secretary bird holds its ground. It lowers its center of gravity slightly, planting its feet firmly. Its long neck curves, bringing its formidable beak into a defensive posture. The crest of black feathers atop its head flares dramatically, an instantaneous signal of aggression and readiness. It is transforming from a graceful forager into a terrestrial fortress, a bastion of defiance. The secretary bird's primary response is to present its most formidable weapons. It instinctively knows that the eagle's attack will come from above. Therefore, it does not cower. Instead, it prepares to meet the aerial assault with a terrestrial counterattack. Its powerful legs, the same ones used to dispatch deadly snakes, are now its anti-aircraft artillery. It may even raise one leg, coiled like a spring, ready to unleash a devastating upward kick at the precise moment of the eagle's closest approach. This is a high-risk, high-reward strategy. A successful connection could cripple the eagle's wing or break a leg, but a miss would leave the secretary bird momentarily off balance and vulnerable. Simultaneously, the secretary bird deploys its wings as a dynamic shield. Spreading them wide, it creates a large, confusing, and less vital target area. This is, honestly, a brilliant piece of ethological strategy. The eagle, programmed to strike at the central body mass or head, may have its final approach disrupted by this sudden explosion of feathers. A talon strike that catches only a wing feather is a failed strike. The secretary bird is actively manipulating the eagle's targeting system, using its own anatomy to create a deceptive visual field and absorb the initial shock of the attack in a non-critical area. This defensive posture is a complex interplay of biomechanics and instinct. The bird is not just standing its ground, it is actively managing the engagement space. It may turn to face the descending eagle, ensuring that its beak and kicking legs are pointed directly at the threat. Its eyes, though not as powerful as the eagles, are sharp and focused, tracking the incoming predator with intense concentration. In these crucial moments, the savanna floor has become a battleground where the laws of aerial physics are about to collide with the unyielding principles of terrestrial defense. The secretary bird is ready for the impact. The moment of impact is a chaotic explosion of feathers and fury. The golden eagle, committed to its stoop, cannot easily abort its attack. It must follow through. As it closes the final distance, the secretary bird executes its desperate yet brilliant countermove. It leaps, not high, but with an explosive burst of power from its legs, it launches itself vertically, a meter or two into the air. This single unexpected action fundamentally changes the geometry of the conflict. The eagle, having calculated its trajectory for a target on the ground, is now faced with an opponent that has suddenly met it in its own element. This mid-air gambit serves two purposes. Firstly, it disrupts the eagle's targeting. The intended impact point on the back or head is no longer where it should be. The eagle must make a split-second correction, a task of immense difficulty at such high velocity. Secondly, the leap allows the secretary bird to bring its own weapons into play more effectively. As it jumps, it kicks forward and upward with its powerful legs, striking out at the eagle's underbelly, legs, or wings. The air becomes a whirlwind of flailing limbs and snapping beaks, a close-quarters brawl, where the eagle's advantage of speed is momentarily neutralized. The eagle, a master of aerial combat, is not easily defeated. It may twist its body, using its own agility to dodge the worst of the secretary bird's kicks. Its talons, even if they miss their primary target, may still find a purchase on a wing or a leg. A struggle ensues, a frantic, tumbling clash in mid-air that lasts only for a second or two before gravity reasserts its dominance. The two birds may lock together, a tangled mass of avian power, and crash back down to the savanna floor. The fight has now transitioned from a high-speed strike to a brutal, grappling contest on the ground. Should the eagle secure a grip, the battle enters a new, grim phase. The eagle's strategy is to use its immense crushing power to incapacitate its foe, while simultaneously using its own wings to maintain balance and shield itself. The secretary bird, however, is a formidable grappler. Even with an eagle on its back, its long, muscular neck allows it to twist and snap with its sharp beak. Its free leg will continue to kick and stomp, desperately trying to break the eagle's hold or inflict a disabling injury. The initial elegant clash of strategies has devolved into a raw, primal struggle for survival. Beyond the physical clash of talon and stomp, a deeper psychological battle is being waged. In any predator-predator confrontation, the outcome is often decided not by the first blow, but by the will to dominate. The golden eagle is an apex predator, an animal whose entire existence is built upon an innate confidence in its own supremacy. Its piercing stare and aggressive posture are not just for show, they are projections of its dominance, designed to intimidate and overwhelm its opponents. It expects its targets to flee or submit. The secretary bird's defiant stand is a direct challenge to this psychological framework. The secretary bird's response is an equal and opposite projection of power. Its flared crest, its direct, unwavering gaze, and its willingness to meet the attack head-on are all signals that it will not be easily cowed. This is a critical moment in the ethological chess match. The secretary bird is communicating, in the nonverbal language of the wild, that it is not prey, it is an equal, a fellow predator defending its territory. This psychological resilience can be as effective as any physical defense, causing a momentary hesitation in the attacker, a flicker of doubt that can be exploited. As the fight progresses, whether in the air or on the ground, each combatant is constantly assessing the other's resolve. A wound, a moment of weakness, or a sign of exhaustion can tip the psychological balance. The eagle will press any advantage relentlessly, seeking to break the spirit of its opponent before breaking its body. The secretary bird, in turn, will fight with a ferocity born of desperation and territorial imperative. Its loud, guttural croaks and hisses are vocal weapons, adding to its intimidating display and broadcasting its unwillingness to yield. This is a war of attrition, not just of flesh, but of nerve. Ultimately, one combatant may decide that the cost of continuing the fight is too high. An eagle, facing a surprisingly formidable and potentially injurious opponent, might calculate that the risk of a broken wing or a damaged eye outweighs the reward of a single meal. A secretary bird, perhaps having sustained a deep talon wound, may see an opportunity to disengage and retreat. This is not cowardice, it is a strategic calculation for long-term survival. The battle may end not with a clear victor but with a mutual grudging disengagement, a silent acknowledgement of a stalemate between two equally powerful wills. This hypothetical conflict brings us to a fascinating intersection of ecological niches and evolutionary strategies, highlighting what is known in ethology as the asymmetry of motivation. The golden eagle may be driven by hunger, a powerful motivator. However, the secretary bird is driven by the defense of its territory and its very life, an arguably stronger imperative. In conflicts between predators, the defender often possesses a psychological edge. It has more to lose. This fundamental asymmetry can often level the playing field, regardless of the physical disparities between the combatants. It is a hidden law that governs countless interactions in the wild. We must also consider the resource-holding potential, or RHP, of each animal. This is a scientific concept that quantifies an individual's ability to win a contest. For the eagle, its RHP is derived from its aerial prowess, speed, and talon strength. For the secretary bird, its RHP comes from its powerful legs, defensive adaptations, and terrestrial agility. In this specific matchup, their RHP values are remarkably balanced, but optimized for different environments. The eagle is dominant in the air, the secretary bird is dominant on the ground. The conflict occurs precisely at the interface of these two domains, creating a rare and unpredictable impasse. The fight is a brutal test of these competing evolutionary designs. The eagle's strategy is optimized for a single, overwhelming strike against unsuspecting terrestrial prey. The secretary bird's entire toolkit, however, is designed to counter fast, ground-level attacks from venomous snakes, a threat that shares characteristics with a low-flying eagle's strike. It is as if the secretary bird has been training for this very type of confrontation its entire evolutionary history. This pre-adaptation to countering sudden, lightning-fast strikes gives it a unique and unexpected advantage against an aerial predator. Therefore, the encounter is unlikely to have a predictable winner. It is a contingent assessment battle, where the outcome depends heavily on the specific circumstances. The angle of the eagle's dive, the secretary bird's reaction time, the terrain, and even the luck of where the first blows land. A slight miscalculation by the eagle could result in a crippling leg injury from a well-aimed kick. A moment's hesitation by the secretary bird could result in a fatal talon strike. This is not a simple equation of strength versus strength, but a complex dynamic system, where chance and circumstance play a decisive role. So, who wins? The truth is, in the unscripted theater of the wild, there may be no single definitive answer. The victor in one encounter might be the vanquished in the next. We are left standing at the edge of our understanding, peering into the deep and often unsettling logic of nature. The confrontation between the golden eagle and the secretary bird is not a simple story of good versus evil, or strong versus weak. It is a paradox. It is a demonstration that two entirely different paths of evolution can lead to two equally perfect forms of predatory mastery. One is a master of the sky, the other a king of the ground, and their clash reveals a fundamental truth. The real winner is the process of evolution itself, a relentless, amoral force that has sculpted these two magnificent creatures. Each is a living testament to the pressures and opportunities of its environment. The eagle is the answer to the question of the mountains and the open sky. The secretary bird is the solution to the riddle of the savanna and the venomous snake. When they meet, it is a collision of two perfect answers to two different questions. The conflict itself becomes a new evolutionary pressure, a violent dialogue that may, over millennia, shape the future of both species in ways we cannot yet imagine. We are left with a haunting dilemma. Does true dominance lie in overwhelming, specialized power like the eagle's stoop? Or does it lie in resilient, adaptable defense like the secretary bird's terrestrial fortress? Nature seems to suggest that both are valid, and that supremacy is contextual, fleeting, and constantly being renegotiated. The eagle that rules the sky may find itself humbled on the ground. The bird that masters the earth may remain vulnerable to the bolt from above. There is no ultimate weapon, no permanent throne in the kingdom of the wild. There is only the endless, brutal, and beautiful struggle. This glimpse into nature's hidden battles is but one story among millions. Every day such dramas unfold, unseen and unheard, governed by these ancient laws of power and survival. We can only watch and wonder and seek to understand a little more about the complex world we inhabit. The answers are out there, written in the wind and the dust, waiting to be discovered by those who are willing to look closer. And as you continue to explore these mysteries, you become part of the story, another consciousness bearing witness to the raw and magnificent truth of the planet.